I am the Highland scribe, Cheryl L. Hudson, storyteller. I am about to begin. Are you ready? I am the Highland scribe, scribe to the stones, to the winds, to the bloodlines that walk unseen. Come closer, closer still. You see, the fire's warm, but this tale tonight, well, this tale runs wild. Now you see, this tale was told to me by my great-grandmother, and it was told to her by her mother, and so on and so forth, and it was told around the fire with coals smudged on the palm of their hands and smoke in their eyes. And everyone who told it swore it was true. This world bends to stories, and some stories, well, they burn through time like a star falling to earth. You see, her name was Isla, and she was one of ours. A traveller lass, copper-haired and fierce as a flint spark, and she danced barefoot in the frost, and she would read storms and signs in them, and she heard whispers in the trees that nobody else could hear. They said that the old ones had touched her cradle and that she had the sight. Her mother warned her not to speak of it. Her father taught her iron runes to keep the fae at bay. But Isla, she was curious, wild-hearted, and she wished more than anything else to meet the fae folk. That was her first mistake. You see, it was autumn when they camped in a glen called the Broken Pines. It was a crooked place where there was no bird song, or even shadows kind of crept sideways. You see, the elders warned, don't dream too deep in that forest. Not with what still walks there. But Isla dreamed anyway, and she dreamed of silver-eyed strangers, of beauty carved from the night and day, of voices older than languages itself. She dreamed of the fae. And one morning, she wandered from the wagons to fetch water, and the spring sat still and glassy, hidden in a hollow. The air was sharp, quiet, no birds, no wind, just the gurgle of the water and her breath. Then the crack of branches and a low guttural growl. A bear, starved in its ribs. Oh, they were like blades beneath matted fur. Its eyes gleamed with hunger. The stink made her gag. She backed away, slow, but her heel caught a root and she fell. It charged. And death reached for her. But something else did first. A shape tore from the tree line, swift and silent, cloaked in black smoke and moonlight, wings bent and broken like a storm-racked crow. His eyes, empty, ancient, burned like ash. One blink and the bear was gone, bones and all. He turned towards Isla, didn't speak, didn't smile, just looked at her, like he'd found something that he'd lost long ago. And then he was gone. Isla had passed out, and she awoke hours later, dizzy, and she was so cold, and another figure was knelt beside her. Not dark, not broken, radiant. His hair was like spun gold, and his eyes, oh, they were like a midsummer sky. Wings soft as dawn, and he smelled of roses and laughter and things Isla had never known. "I am Elion," he said, voice like song, "and I have saved you." But Isla's heart twisted, because part of her remembered the shadow, and it didn't feel like a rescue. The days after, they began to blur into strange light. Leon brought her flowers that never wilted, played songs that tugged on her soul like childhood lullabies. He whispered of a world beyond where time stood still and no one would ever hurt her. He said he was special and so was she, and that she was meant to be with him, to belong with him. But at night, when the fire burned low, Isla would hear another name in the wind. Kelthorn. He never came close. But when floods threatened, it was his silhouette she saw on the ridgeline, parting the waters. When wolves snarled in the shadows, it was his shadow that growled back until they ran. He never asked her for anything, but he was there, always there. Now, long ago, before time meant anything, you see, there were two brothers who ruled the realms of the Fae. There was Elion, prince of the Solomir court, golden and beloved, bringer of song, of spring, of beauty without cost. And then there was Kelthorn, born of the nether deep, where the light fled and silence ruled. He was shadow, sharp and sorrowed, the younger, the unwanted. However, not unwise. You see, Elion feared Kelthorn's power. He feared what mortals might see in his brother's silence. So he cursed him. He tore Kelthorn from his court and kin and cast him between the forest, where stories go to rot, where forgotten things wait. But Kelthorn did not wither. He watched and he learned. And one day, a mortal girl, with fire in her eyes, stumbled into his woods. She didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She saw him. And that, well, that was the beginning of the end. Isla's heart, Isla, she should have run. Instead, she returned to the spring, over and over, searching continuously. Some days, Elion would be waiting, smiling, his hands full of petals and praises towards her. Other times, only Kelthorn's silence would meet her. She began to see the cracks in Elion's glow. You know, his gifts tasted of forgetting, how his promises asked her to leave her people, her name, her fire. Kelthorn, however, offered nothing. But in his presence, she remembered who she was. You see, the choice and the ruin at Samhain, when the veil thins and fire walks with the living, the forest that night held its breath. You see, Isla stood at the crossroads. Elion came first, draped in light with a crown in hand. "Come with me," he said. "Be queen of the Everlight in the Seelie court, and I will make you eternal." Kelthorn stood behind. No crown, no words. Just eyes that had held every truth she'd ever tried to bury. Her soul tore apart. One promised joy, the other, he felt like home. She wept, she burned, and she chose. Neither. I am no queen, she said, no consort, and certainly not a pet. I am of fire and wind, of iron and road dust. I am a child of the old ways, and I choose myself. But you see, fae love, well, it's nae like our love. No, no, it does not end with rejection. It ends in ruin. Elion screamed and tried to bind her with light, and Kilthorn stepped in and broke the spell, and the forest caught afire. Their powers, they collided, and the sky split and the earth screamed, and Isla, well, Isla was burned. Not alive, not dead. Something more. You see, the Glen of Broken Pines still carries her. She is the flame on cold nights, and the wind that screams in your dreams, and the voice in the dark that whispers and reminds us to choose carefully. You see, you can wish for a fae's love, and you might get it. Wish for two, and you might get a war. Their hearts are not made for mercy, and if your soul sings to shadow, don't chase the sun. And if you feel safe in silence, never trust the light. You see, to love a fae is to dance on the edge of ruin. And to love too, well, that is to become the blade that cuts them both. I am the Highland scribe, scribe to the stones, to the winds, to the bloodlines that walk unseen. And until the fire lights again, sleep well, wanderers.